How do you overcome analysis and paralysis? You might be asking, what is this all about? Some of you are already knowing this. This is something very common that happens when you are actually working in a creative environment where you want to do that very important project and suddenly you will think, is this the better one? Can I really make it? You will start analyzing that and you get yourself paralyzed of not taking any action. This is common today with students when they are studying. It is common today with working professionals when they are working on their project, or even for business owners when they want to get that main project up and running. So this happens in every area and every individual. But how do we solve that? Let's discover that in this video. So those of you who do not know me, hi, I'm Keerthan. I'm the author and an entrepreneur and an educator. So created this main channel just to connect and build a community around having it all. How can you actually have all the success in 5 areas of your life? Personal mastery, career and business, wealth and lifestyle, love and relationship, and health and happiness. This is so important. Like as a life, when we come here on this planet Earth, it's so important that we achieve success holistically, right? And that is very important, and that's the reason why this channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe to the channel so that it will encourage to create a lot more content in all the areas of life, and you can learn every single day, every single week on improving all these 5 areas of life. So now let's get started with this one. So how does this actually happen? Let's understand that. When it comes to analysis and paralysis, this happens majorly because of overthinking. You start thinking too much about that. I think this is not perfect. I think it can be done better. Or what will happen certain projects where it has to be given as feedback. The person who is giving the feedback go through analysis and paralysis. This is somewhere I feel it is not right yet. Right? So we go with that particular limbo stage wherein people will not understand what is that next step and they'll just avoid that. And it stays there as a project. And guess what? When that project comes to your table, if it is actually handled then and there, so it would have been very easy for you. But you actually wait for 1 week, 2 weeks. Then even though it is the same project, the weight of that project will start increasing because you have been with that analysis paralysis mode. And somehow you feel that stuck moment that like somehow I want to finish this project but it is not happening. Right? Basically it is happening because either you have done the overthinking or you are missing a clarity. This is the second reason why people go through analysis and paralysis. Somewhere clarity, or either you are missing a competence, a capability is not there for you to complete that project or finish that project, right? Or the third reason is because you go through this is willpower. Because what will happen, you might have observed this, some people are really productive in the night, right? So by the time they are like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, they can be fully active. So that is the time for you to work, if that is your like highly productive time. But you cannot ask that if you are actually in an employment, or if you are actually as an employee of a company, you cannot ask I will actually work in the night. Some people might be having night shifts and all of that, but that is a creative space. Like some of you who are in the creative work in an environment, or if you are a student, or if you are a business owner, for some of you, you might be a night owl, like where you get that creative ideas because the mind frequencies are calming during that time. Right? At that time you might be thinking all these things, but at that time if you do not have the willpower, right, it is the energy to execute things, even though mind is ready, you will not be ready. Then you get stuck with that analysis and paralysis. It's very important you actually understand that and recognize that you are going through that. Only then you can solve it. Any problem, if you don't recognize it, there is no solution to it. So it's very important you get into your awareness. Let's talk about the 4 ideas that I'm going to give you right now, which can actually help you get yourself unstuck from this or overcome the analysis and paralysis. Number 1. So this is very important. Let me actually draw this and show this to you, because this is very important where people really don't understand this. You need to understand this is your happiness level, okay? And this is your choices that you need to make in a day. Okay, or the kinds of projects that what you have in that day. And let's consider that if you have this clear goal in your mind that I want to do, like let's consider you have it very clearly that I want to do 4 projects today. That's it. Then if those 4 projects, even if you complete 2 projects, guess what? Your happiness level will be like this, right? It will be really high. But what will actually happen is that right now if you see, as the choices starts increasing, which means the number of tasks that you have to do in a day is more, right? Even though there are a lot of tasks to do, guess what? Slowly your happiness level starts dropping, right? Even if you achieve them in a day, you will not be happy that day. You will be tired, you'll feel like, this has not happened, that has not happened. Still, like even if you are here, still this many things that did not happen, that unhappiness will be there. And that is where it is very important to actually see through all the choices that you have that day and figure out 3 to 4 things. If you do that day, is going to be a needle mover task. And guess what? If you do that and if you satisfy with that with your heart, guess what? Your happiness will be really, really awesome. Your productivity is really, really high. And guess what? You can actually take some break during that time and celebrate that success that you are able to do that task. Because you need to understand, if you do not want to get yourself stuck in analysis and paralysis, this is very important. Here is the first point. What does this graph represents here is less is more. What's the word? Less is more. That doesn't mean you're not at all working. That means that you're doing the quality work, right? So that, because what will happen if it is, let's consider you have 8 tasks to be done or 9 or 10 tasks to be done in a day and you write all of them, but you really don't know what is the priority. Guess what? You will immediately get stuck. Should I do this one? Should I do that one? Should I do this one? What more clarity is required here? By this journey itself, no task is actually done. Now what will happen? You will start feeling, I think I should not do this, I should do that. You will start going with overthinking, and after some time you will get tired. You have done half done, and guess what? Your happiness level, right? And this is what happens to people, and that is where they lose interest. So it's very important. What are the significant activities that I need to do which will increase that drastically, right? That is very, very important. So as I told you already here, less is more. That's number 1. The second thing that what you need to actually understand when it comes to breakthroughing or overcoming this analysis and paralysis is structuring your day. What's the word? Structuring your day. What does that mean? Which means that you're writing it, what is called as directions for the day, wherein you write down 3 or 4 or 5 important tasks, not more than 5, right? So this is the peak point of happiness, and you know those will do fantastically well, right? So that is very, very important, right? So structure your day. So that is very important. Third thing, and the most important, is you need to keep on telling this to yourself. As you are doing any of this task, you need to understand version 1 is better than version none, right? So make it work first. Whatever it is, make it work, right? And slowly make it better, right? Get like, so your mantra should be like, how can I make it better this time? How can I make it better? Right? There is nothing called as best, because if you reach that best, then that best will become better actually. There is always more to human beings' potential. So if you actually work towards your full potential, there is always a next level, right? If you have done version 1, then go for version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5. That is very, very important, so that you do not get yourself stuck in your head that I'm not getting it. Do that version 1, get the feedback. Do that version 2, version 3, get the feedback, improve. Right? That doesn't mean that is the final copy, but improve. Ask for feedback. Then only you will move forward, whether it is in working or a student or a business owner. Like even if you're setting up that campaign as a marketing campaign, you got to start, right? You got to do that version 1, whatever it is, right? Put in that work. That's exactly how you're going to break through or overcome that analysis and paralysis. Here is the 4th one. This is so important for many people. That is having somebody with you. Accountability. If you have somebody, guess what? You can share what is that stuck point. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. Guess what? As you're doing this conversation with them, suddenly that break might actually just burst out and you will just start getting the ideas, right? So how many of you have actually observed this? Like when you go to a meeting with your friends or somebody, as you are communicating, suddenly ideas start popping up, right? You will start understanding, oh, this can be done, that can be done, right? So that is very important. You having accountability where there are certain people who are actually encouraging you to complete that project. So that is where growth community, that plays an important role. And that's where we have created a community to meet every single day from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. If you are that one type of a person, if you are liking this environment, I would highly encourage you to fill the form, fill the Google form out there, so that you will be invited to be part of that growth community to help you achieve your goals, to push you forward in your career, to help you get that success that what you desire and deserve. And it is possible. And I want you to fill that Google form so that you can be part of that growth team and get an accountability partner for you to grow. We are building this as a massive community so that everybody grows together, everybody achieves together. That is possible, right? That is how you overcome your analysis and paralysis syndrome, right? Hope you got the value here. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, once again, please do subscribe to the channel and also give that like, so that it will encourage me to do more of this video and for my team to support you more further here. And also share your experience in the comments. What did you learn from this particular session? What was that important key takeaway that you're going to implement in your career life? Look forward to see you in the next video.